Hi, my name is Steven and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Lessons Learned Part 20, Decisions in Life That I Would Do Over. In these series of episodes, I'm going to share with you the lessons I learned along the journey of my life. And I will cover different aspects of my life now that I'm older, wiser, and can look back and see what I could have done differently. The goal is to provide a guide for others using my past experiences, so they can learn from my mistakes and make the most out of their own journey. I've often contemplated what decisions I would change if I can go back in time. My motivation behind this is introspection and whether or not I could have done better considering the circumstances, so that I can learn the lessons from my past and make better future decisions. This exercise also helps me to reflect on my past achievements as well. The idea of exploring other potential outcomes of my life's decisions is also a fascinating one. So let's take a journey on memory lane and see what I could have done differently in my life, and what alternate choices that I would have made considering the circumstances. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my background, my lessons learned, and my general thoughts. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, hit that notification bell if you like this content. And here we go. We all have things in the past that we want to course correct and change. I think it stems from hindsight is 2020, and we always want the best outcomes for ourselves. We all want to go back in time and make no bad decisions in our lives. And this is a case where we always want to find a better outcome for our career, relationship, and goals in life. It's important to note that while we're thinking about changes that we could have done in the past, this is primarily for our personal growth and development. Because at the end of the day, we can't change the past, but we can affect our future. So you can use the lessons learned from your past decisions to inform you of a better future and help you understand what are some of the pitfalls that you might be able to avoid the next time it happens. So here are my lessons learned. Number 1, staying home from college. I think that if I had a do-over in life, the one thing that I would try to change my mind about is staying at home for college. I would really consider moving into my college dorm my freshman year, rather than commuting back and forth from college as I did for the entire 4 years. This experience living on campus by myself would have given me autonomy much quicker in life, and it would give me more ease and experience in making new friends in a different environment. In particular, it's the interpersonal relationship skills I would have gained the most out of that experience. Because at the end of the day, when I'm looking at it from the long-term perspective, I really struggled to make friends in my early to mid-20s. And having the interpersonal relationship experience would have helped immensely when I was 18. And it would give me a much firmer footing when I actually did move out in the world. Because instead of being 18 years old when I first moved out, it was 23. I felt that I would have been able to learn much quicker had I moved out at 18 and really gain more of the traditional college experiences that I really didn't get until my master's degree. My college at the time was a commuter school, so I really didn't get a lot of face time with people outside of my classes. Overall, I think the impact of this was a delayed adulthood for me. By staying longer at home, I stayed more in my comfort zone for longer, and I could have learned much more had I just moved out at 18. Of course, this isn't considering other factors such as financial, but it would have been a good experience to move out earlier. Number 2, focus on computers. As a child, I've always had a computer at home as long as I can remember. This means that early on in life, I was really set up for success to interact with computers all day long. With that being said, I don't work in the computer industry at all, neither software nor hardware. And maybe, just maybe, that would have been a huge missed opportunity for me. Because looking back on it now, I missed out on the tech bubble that was the 2010s. Someone like me easily could have slotted into software coding as a child and be able to be part of the industry with massive salaries and huge stock bonuses. If my goal in life was for job stability and money, the tech industry would be it. But this ultimate decision would have been an extremely difficult one. I never had interest in coding them or working with them extensively. To me, a computer was a functional tool that I used to play video games. This decision in my life would just be about hitching my ride to a red-hot industry and being able to say that you worked ground zero in the tech industry during that time. My life, if I'd chosen tech, would be vastly different than the life I have today. Although the job would have been different, I think I still would have lived in Silicon Valley and Seattle at some point. And if I did choose computer science, I think I would have ended up in a drastically different circumstance in life. It could have been a very good decision or a very terrible decision based on what my goals were. So the impact of me choosing computer science rather than engineering would have been an unknown one for me. But the one thing that I'm probably sure of is that I would be in a financially better situation. Number 3, comfort zone friends. I am fiercely loyal to the close friends that I have in life. And in the past, I've spent a large amount of time with them, cultivating our friendship. But if I had the option to go back in time, I think I would have chosen to spend less time with them. and in particular spend more time with new people. Not because I don't value my close friends, but because I limited my opportunities for growth in new people. Fundamentally, I didn't expand my network of friends, so I struggled to make new friends. Because in college, I kind of stuck with my close-knit group and stayed with them for the 4 years in college. This led me to be really comfortable with the close friends that I have, but not to new people. And I didn't do a lot to push my comfort zone to find new people in life. People that would bring new opportunities and experiences to me. When I moved to Silicon Valley and I didn't know anyone, I realized the potential of having new friends that were completely different than my college friends. I gained so many new experiences by just hanging around different people. And extrapolating that from when I was 18, I could have learned more in life. Of course, I would still try to spend time with the close friends that I have, but definitely put an emphasis on reaching out to others. The goal is to not only have new experiences, but also improve my communication and interpersonal skills along with it. So the impact of this is I would be able to make more friends in my early 20s much quicker than I ultimately did. And I would gain new experiences much earlier in life. Number 4, waiting too long for help. Lastly, in general, I think I waited too long to ask people for help when I actually needed. This can mean either asking people for general advice or seeking therapy in my 30s. If I were to do this over, I would be less fearful of other people's judgments on me seeking help. I didn't really learn to ask for help until my late 20s, and that it's okay to ask for help as long as you really pay attention to the advice of other people. When we ask help from others, we become more vulnerable, and that fosters a stronger connection between the two people. And also, that advice can help give us more tools to solve the problems we have in life. Asking for help can be quite fearful initially, but it's a process that we have to all go through. Because when you're successful at asking for help, everything becomes easier in life. Early on in my life, I tried to do everything by myself without asking anyone for help. I wanted to prove to others that I could do it without assistance. But this was a big mistake. It took me a lot longer to accomplish something, and I got more frustrated in the process of it. I wasn't learning the experience from other people, and I was just taking longer to do things. I would have saved myself a lot of demotivating experience had I just asked for help in the first place. The impact of this is if I started in my teens asking for help, it would have been a much easier 20s for me. I would have been able to reduce the learning curve in my 20s and be able to do things a lot quicker in life. So I definitely would have asked for help earlier on in my life if I could go back in time. So here are my general thoughts on the decisions I would change in life. It's certainly not easy to second guess yourself, especially big decisions in life that you've made. Especially if those decisions fundamentally needed a personality change in order for you to actually go through with it. But what this exercise has shown me is that ultimately we can grow out of our past selves, even if it might take years or even a decade to do so. I ultimately did change, and my life improved drastically because of it. The journey matters, and we can't just snap our fingers and become a different person. In most cases, we're just not ready to change or make a decision that's outside of our comfort zone. And we definitely need some push or motivation to help us move along in the correct path. For some lucky ones, it can happen earlier in life, but for others, it can happen much later in life. And finally, we need to accept the past and eventually move on with our decisions that we made. While I did have some fun thinking about decisions that I would go back in time and make, ultimately, I can't change what happened. And ultimately, there's no way to know whether or not my life would have been drastically improved had I made a different decision in life. All I know is that the future is not written, and you can continuously improve to better your life. Because regardless of the circumstances, we have the power to change the course of our future if we so choose to. So those are some of the decisions in my life that I wanted to change. Regret from past decisions can be a huge motivator of change. A person might look back on the decisions that they've made and see that it came to a negative outcome, or missed opportunities or unhappiness at their current situation in life. We might not like the consequences of those decisions, but it's very normal to try to second guess yourself. In my life, there's plenty of decisions in the past that I wish I can go back and change. Maybe it would make my life better, but maybe not. At the end of the day, we can use what we learned in life to inform our future decisions and choices, and ultimately better ourselves from the next time we are forced to make that same decision again. So thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below on what is one life decision that you want to change and how would your life be affected because of that change. And I'll see you next time.